Hi, I'm Lucy Marvellous from Fresher Bites. I'm going to show you how to make this absolutely delicious and easy roast red pepper and tomato soup. It's really yummy. The recipe in your booklet is for 4 portions. I'm going to make half the recipe, that's 2 portions. So I've got 1 pepper and 4 tomatoes and a rather large chilli. My oven is on at 190 degrees centigrade or gas mark 5. So next job is to prepare this pepper, ready to give it a bit of a roasting in the oven. Cut it in half. With your thumb you can pull out all these seeds and bits that you don't want, white bits that you don't really want in your soup. And then chop these into roughly bite-sized pieces. They're going to get liquidised later anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's just to make sure they get roasted nicely. Pop them on the tray, skin side up. We're going to season them, a little salt and pepper. Notice I've got my parchment paper on here, save on the washing up. And because we're making half the recipe, we just want half a tablespoon of oil drizzled over these. I'm using olive oil, it doesn't really matter too much what oil it is. You don't want them swimming in it, you just want each one to have a little drizzle so it crisps up rather than burning. And then we're going to pop those in the oven for 15 minutes. Meanwhile, we're going to quarter our tomatoes. And I'm using a fresh chilli. If you were using powdered chilli, you just pop it in your pan. But as I'm using a fresh chilli, I'm going to chop this up. It's very large, but it's not particularly hot. I'm just going to put half of it in. And we pop that into our saucepan. Tomatoes, chilli, a little bit of black pepper. As it's half the recipe, we're putting in 1 teaspoon of bouillon powder. I like this, so I'm going to put quite a heaped one in. Here's our 375 millilitres of water going in. That really is about it for this bit. Put the heat on, get it to boiling. Once that's come to a good boil, we can move it onto a lower gas. Make sure it's just simmering nicely. Pop the lid on, leave it for 10 minutes, which incidentally is as long as the peppers still have to go. There goes our timer for the peppers. Pop those out of the oven, they've softened up nicely. We're going to pop them into the soup and cook that all for another 5 minutes. And then it will be ready to blitz. Pop your parchment in the bin, give that a little white round, but there's no nasty sticky burnt bits on it, so it's a lot easier. So that's all deliciously cooked, it's had its full 20 minutes. What we need to do now is blend it with our hand blender. So our hand blender whizzes very fast. It will chop up these vegetables really nicely, make a nice smooth soup. If you lift it out while it's whizzing, it will also splatter hot liquid around your kitchen. So on when it's down, turn it off before you remove it. Notice while I'm blending I've got my hand on top of the handle pushing down because that is safer. Obviously if you have a liquidizer that's fantastic, but if you don't, just give it a good old hand blend for quite a while. Now's a good time to give it a little taste, adjust your seasoning. That is lovely, that's plenty salty enough, a little bit of extra black pepper. You could also at this time add something like a pinch of cumin or more chilli if you like that. And serve it with a little bit of black pepper on the top. And there in under half an hour you've got your delicious red pepper and tomato soup. Once you've cooked something, please pop over to Facebook let me know how you've got on, maybe show me a photo of what you made, or if while you're cooking you've got any questions, pop over to Facebook, Fresher Bites, ask me a question. There's a very good chance I'll be online and I can answer your question, or there might be someone else in the group who can answer your question too. Happy cooking!